This is Bharat, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, SNS College of Technology, Coimbatore. I am here before you for the next lecture series video for the course Measurements and Instrumentation. Come, let's get into the video. Before getting into today's topic, as a recap about the previous session, we have discussed about the various topics in the course Measurements and Instrumentation. The last video series, we just discussed about the topics, what are the functional blocks of an electrical instrument? Also, what are the various characteristics and the dynamic classified as static and dynamic characteristics of measuring instruments? What are the various types of static and dynamic characteristics we have discussed in the next videos in detail. In continuation about the previous session, today we are going to discuss about what are the various types of measurement systems. Come, let's recall the previous session. The measurement in instrumentation, we have seen the fundamentals of measurement, instrument characteristics, statistical treatment, electrical instruments. So in all these, we have just discussed about the static characteristics and dynamic characteristics of the instruments. The static characteristics and dynamic characteristics involves the speed, the fidelity, the lag, the dynamic error, etc. And static characteristics involves and various things. What is the need for classification? The different types depends upon few things. What is the need to classify all these? That involves the empathized part of our process to suit the different physical quantities and appliances and their applications, to achieve required accuracy and sensitivity of an equipment, to handle the static and dynamic characteristics of the instrument, to ensure safety and a reliability of everything, to meet the cost, size, and portability requirements. So these are the various things which we need to understand for understanding the various classifications of instruments. The software, the environment, the personalization, the methods and procedures, what we follow, all are very important. Based on the need for classification, we classify majorly the methods of classification into different categories. All those categories are listed here in this. And various examples of those classifications are also shown on the right-hand side with a few suitable images. The various classifications involves direct and indirect measurements, passive and active elements, null and deflection type instruments, analog instruments and digital instruments, monitoring and controlling instruments, indicating instruments, static and dynamic instruments, absolute versus secondary instruments. So various types depends upon its characteristics, have special types about it. The first one, what we are going to see is about the direct and indirect measurement. Direct measurements involves what we take the reading directly. So as per the definition over here, measuring quantity directly using a calibrated instrument. A very good example is a scale. We measure the length of any object using a direct method of measurement with the scale. The length of a pencil. We take a scale, measure from the starting point till the ending point. It's 9 centimeter. Total is value calibrated on the scale. So directly we take it as 9 centimeter. Examples like ruler or the scale. Thermometer, we see the temperature. Ammeter, we calibrate the current value. It has several advantages. It has higher accuracy, simple in operation, etc. What is indirect measurement? Indirect measurement is calculated from other quantities. For example, we calculate the length by just taking the ruler or a scale and measuring it. But we calculate the area just by multiplying the length into the width. We calculate the volume, length multiplied by width multiplied by height. We calculate power by multiplying voltage and current, which measures inaccessible quantities. The second type is the active and passive elements. Active elements is external energy source required to produce the output. Passive elements is output produced entirely based on the quantity being measured. Examples of active elements are liquid indicator, flow indicator, etc. And passive elements involves pressure gauge, voltmeters, etc. What are its characteristics? It has high resolution, adjustable, complex in design, and higher cost. What are its characteristics? Lower resolution, fixed resolution, simple design, and it is economical. Null and deflection type instruments. Null instruments as a zero indicating instruments. Deflection instruments are pointed deflection of measurement. Opposing effect balances measured quantity. Deflecting torque balanced by controlling torque. Here, null deflection example is a DC potentiometer. Deflection type instrument is a moving coil instrument. It has various advantages and characteristics. Analog instruments and digital instruments. Analog, as we all know, output varies continuously based on a pointering scale. Digital instrument output is discrete, zeros and ones. Examples are the meters, where we use the pointers like analog meter, analog voltmeter, thermometers, etc. Digital meters, digital thermometers, multimeters, and oscilloscopes, etc. What is advantages? Continuous reading can be noted using analog instruments. When we go for digital instruments, it is very precise. Monitoring instruments and control instruments, they are used to indicate magnitude or condition of parameter. Used for automatic control system with feedback. Static and dynamic instruments. Measurement of constant or slowly varying quantities is a static instrument. Measurement of time varying quantities is a dynamic instrument. Various examples are also listed over here. Absolute and secondary instruments, they based on the physical quantities, they are calibrated using absolute instruments. Let's summarize. The measuring instruments are classified into three types: electronic, electrical, and mechanical. Electrical, absolute measurement, and secondary measurements, indicating, integrating, and recording type instruments. Thank you. This video finds you well. Meet you in the next. Thank you.